The Empress, the girl, and the quiet human. The Celestine Empire was known across the Orion Reach for many things. Its colossal star forts carved from nebula glass. Its fleets of silver-armored guardians. Its Empress, Veloria Tren, feared, revered, untouchable. But nobody ever mentioned her daughter. Princess Aria Tren, heir by blood, mystery by reputation. Born with a rare neural disorder that kept her from walking without assistance, speaking without difficulty, and enduring the sensory overloads that plagued her luminous, hypersensitive nerves. Her shimmering skin, typical of the Celestine people, glowed too brightly when she was overwhelmed, dimmed too deeply when afraid. Most people never saw her at all. The Empress kept her hidden within the palace, away from cruel eyes, judgmental stares, and the political predators waiting to call her unfit. Even within her own court, Aria was a whisper, not a presence. Until the night of the peace accords. Delegates from 12 species gathered at the Celestine Grand Hall. A feast, a gala, a carefully orchestrated performance of unity. That was the first night the Empress allowed Aria to sit beside her throne. And the night a human walked into both of their lives. His name was Evan Hale, a 23-year-old waiter from Earth, hired by the embassy to assist with serving Terran dishes at the event. He wasn't a soldier, politician, scientist, or diplomat. Just a quiet young man with gentle hands, steady footsteps, and a tendency to hum soft music when he thought no one was listening. But Aria listened. She watched him from the moment he entered the hall. She tracked his every movement with wide silver eyes, nervous, curious, glowing faintly each time he came near. Empress Veloria noticed. "Human," she called, stopping Evan mid-step as he passed the high dais. He stiffened. "Why, yes, your Imperial Radiance." Her voice was cold, measured. "You are making my daughter react." Aria's glow intensified in embarrassment. Evan panicked. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean." The Empress raised one elegant hand. "Explain." "I just hum when I work," he said quietly. "It helps me stay focused." A pause. The Empress's golden eyes narrowed. "Show me." He swallowed, then, softly, continued humming the same gentle earth melody. To everyone's shock, Aria relaxed. Her glow softened to a calm shimmer, her trembling hands grew still. For the first time that night, she unclenched her fingers from the arms of her glider chair. The entire hall fell silent. The Empress stared at her daughter, then at Evan, and for the first time in decades, something uncertain flickered behind her steel-hard mask. "Continue serving," she said at last, voice tight, "but do not leave the upper dais." Evan bowed quickly. "Yes, Your Radiance." And so, for the rest of the night, as alien nobles drank, debated, and whispered, the human waiter worked quietly beside the Empress and her disabled daughter. And Aria watched him as though he was the first real thing she had ever seen. Middle, the dance of light and human hands. After the feast ended and guests retired to their chambers, the Empress remained awake. She couldn't forget it. The way Aria had calmed. The way she had focused. The way she had leaned, just slightly, toward the human. Aria had never responded to any music therapy that way. Celestine tones were too sharp. Synthetic harmonics too intense. Even Imperial resonance healers failed to ease her sensory chaos. But a human waiter's simple humming? It was impossible. And yet, it was true. The next morning the Empress summoned Evan. He knelt, visibly terrified, as she floated down from her throne platform, radiant in her crystalline robes. You will serve as my daughter's attendant during the remainder of the accords, she declared. Evan nearly fainted. Emmy? But I'm just staff. I don't have training with children, or royal etiquette, or... She responded to you. The Empress cut in. That is enough. Arya sat nearby in her floating glider chair, watching him with glowing silver eyes. She reached out shakily toward him. Veloria stiffened. Nobody touched the princess. Nobody. But Arya's hand trembled, reaching, waiting. And Evan, without hesitation, gently took it. A soft pulse of light rippled from Arya's skin, calm, warm, trusting. The Empress's breath caught. For 3 days, Evan helped Arya navigate the palace gardens, quiet corridors, and private observatories. He hummed songs from Earth, old lullabies, jazz melodies, folk tunes. Arya followed every tone, her glider chair moving in smooth patterns behind him, responding like she was floating on the music itself. He taught her to clap to rhythm, tap her fingers, sway gently. She smiled, tiny, soft, rare smiles that made Evan's throat tighten. Each evening, the Empress watched from a distance. Her daughter, her fragile, precious daughter who had suffered alone for so long, was opening like a flower beneath sunlight. But what shook Veloria most was this. Arya wasn't just responding. She was changing. Her speech patterns improved. Her sensory overloads decreased. Her glow stabilized into a steady radiance. With Evan at her side, she navigated the world without fear. And the Empress? She didn't know what to do with the feeling growing in her chest. Hope, terror, awe, envy, gratitude, all tangled together. Then came the night of the Celestine Unity Ball. A night that changed everything. Climax, the moment that stilled 1,000 hearts. The ball was not meant for Arya. Too loud, too crowded, too bright. But Arya wanted to see it. And Evan refused to let her face it alone. So he guided her carefully into the grand hall, away from the center crowds, toward the quieter edges where the light was softer. Music played, alien harmonics twisting through the air. Arya flinched immediately, overwhelmed, until Evan knelt beside her glider chair. Arya, he whispered gently, watch me. He hummed. Softly, deliberately. Her breathing steadied. Slowly, she extended her arms, an awkward, trembling gesture that mimicked the dancers in the center of the hall. Evan stood. Do you want to dance? He asked softly. She nodded, glowing faintly. He took her hands, guiding, swaying, moving at her pace, letting her glider chair float with the rhythm. Their dance wasn't elegant. It wasn't formal. But it was real. Pure. And beautiful. The entire hall eventually noticed them. A human. A princess. Dancing. The music softened. Conversations silenced. Even the holorecorders paused. It was then that Empress Veloria arrived. She froze. Her daughter, smiling, glowing with steady, confident silver light. Moving in rhythm, in joy, in connection. Because of him. The Empress felt something inside her crack, something she had locked away for years. The fear that she had failed her child. The fear that Arya would never laugh, never connect, never live freely. The fear that no one, not healers, not scholars, not her, could ever reach her. Yet this human, this simple waiter, had done it without even trying. When the dance ended, Arya leaned forward and touched her forehead to Evan's chest in Celestine affection. Evan froze. Arya glowed a soft rose color. Love, trust, comfort. The Empress stepped forward, voice trembling. Evan Hale, What are you to my daughter?
He swallowed.
Someone who sees her.
Not a burden.
Not a weakness.
Not a political liability. A person.
Arya reached out to her mother with one hand, and to Evan with the other.
The Empress's vision blurred.
For the first time in years, she knelt beside her daughter, lowering herself fully, and placed one hand over Arya's
glowing fingers. Her voice cracked. My daughter.
I am so proud of you. Arya shimmered in joy,
and the hall erupted in gentle applause.
Ending the new future. The peace accords ended with unexpected unity. But the true alliance formed that week was not political.
It was personal.
The Empress requested, officially, ceremonially, that Evan remain on Celestine Prime as Arya's full-time aide, guide, and companion. Earth's embassy agreed almost instantly. Evan accepted before they even finished the paperwork. Every morning, he walked with Arya through the Sunrise Gardens. Every afternoon, he helped her strengthen her movements, guiding her steps with patience. Every evening, the Empress watched them from the balcony, her heart swelling with a mixture of gratitude and new, unfamiliar emotions she wasn't ready to name. Arya's progress became legendary. The princess who once lived in shadows now glowed openly, freely.
And Evan?
He became the first human ever granted the Celestine title of Starbond, a companion whose presence harmonized with royal light. But the moment that sealed their bond forever came quietly, one night, on the palace steps. Arya, glowing softly, pressed her forehead to Evan's hand.
Not out of dependence, but out of joy.
The Empress, standing behind them, closed her eyes, allowing herself to breathe, to hope, to feel. Her life had been war, expectation, duty. But a human waiter's dance with her disabled daughter had shown her something else.
Connection. Healing.
A universe where gentleness was stronger than fear. Where love, of any form, could change an empire. And as stars shimmered above Celestine Prime, Empress Veloria whispered a vow only the cosmos heard. This is only the beginning.
And she meant it.